To make Claire's parachute chair, I'm going to start with some original Sculpey. You can get this at any craft store. I used some popsicle sticks and I crafted this basic shape. I'm going to bake it in the oven at 225 for about 40 minutes.
Crafty, messy table.
Now that the chair is baked, I took the sides and drilled two very small holes in it. You have to be very careful when you drill these holes, because if you go too fast or push down too much, you're going to split the wood and then you'll have to recut everything and start over, and you don't want to do that. I took just a wooden square and glued it to the back, because that's what we're going to use to attach the little support thing that goes behind it. And to make that, it's not a headrest, but it's like behind the headrest. So I've taken this is not a popsicle stick, it's smaller, it's a coffee stir stick. So I cut a piece a little bit smaller than the headrest, and then I split one of the stir sticks, and that's going to be the two supports that go on this. And then when that's glued together, I'm just going to glue it onto the back of here so that there's a space in between it. Alright, I got the headrest back part put in, and then I cut two small wooden dowel, round dowel pieces, and I just put those in here for those parts. Now there's a handle, the emergency parachute handle. So I've taken a plastic Q-tip and heated it up a little bit so that I could bend it, and then I took a thin strip of painter's tape and kind of wrapped it around the top to make it thicker to be a handle. So I'm going to cut that in and glue it in right there. I've got my handle put in. I added these from a split stir stick. There's a third one that goes down here, but okay, so I cut out these extra side pieces, and they're going to get glued on to the bottom part, and then that third split stir stick is going to be glued right at the top here of this one. And there's a little kind of circular thingy attached to a metal stick, so that's just, again, split stir sticks, and it's just an O-ring from a spacer. I found a plastic belt for an amber scale figure. I'm not sure what it's from, but the belt was perfect. This part is already pre-made. I just had to cut out a gun holster, and this is the back strap of the chute. These can be clips. They used to be little pocket things on a belt, and the belt buckles can be the two shoulder straps. Save yourself a headache if you can find something like that. I took other pieces of the belt and I glued them in like this. Tiny bits there, and on this side. For the back of the parachute, the part that the cloth and everything attaches to, I've got some styrene, which is a thin sheet plastic. You can get it on, I believe you can get it on Amazon, that's where I got it. And I just cut out this part that I'm going to glue in over the wood, and then I'll attach fabric and stuff for the parachute bag. I found O-rings from a water bottle. This is the smaller part of it. There was a bigger one that I used, and just cut the O-ring in split, and then glued the back part behind the headrest so that it comes down here, and glued those ends down, so we've got a seat belt. I took the belt buckle, which actually clasps together, and I glued those ends in, so it's going to be a functioning seat belt. And I added some rubber strapping to the back. I'll clean it up after paint. I'm going to wait until after it's done paint before I attach a backpack for the parachute, but I've got some brown fabric that I think will be pretty great for that. Other than that, it's ready for paint. And the craft part, I think, is done. Originally, I wanted to make it as screen accurate as possible, but when I started getting into the meat of it, I realized that it was kind of hopeless with the supplies that I have at hand. So this is just a cool parachute seat. All right, this is the finished chair. I added a little bit of milliput after, before I painted it, and added that middle strap there, and I painted the chair red, obviously, and then I did this gray, and I did a bunch of dark washes to make it look kind of old and dirty. and I glued in this fabric kind of backpack thing. Made it a little bit raggedy on the bottom. It's not going to be too stiff, and it's not going to be too crinkly like a plastic bag would. So that's pretty good. All right, well, let's put it in a diorama and see what it looks like.